Good morning everyone, this is Holmes from Tai Chi Gold Coast, who contracts to the Australian Academy of Tai Chi and Qigong. Special thanks to my trainer, Senior Master Rod Ferguson from the Academy, and also special thanks to Samantha Hughes and her team at Active and Healthy, City of Gold Coast, who make these special videos for you available. Today I'm going to continue my sessions with you with just some very simple exercises that you can just do at home, really anywhere that you can do. All you need is loose clothing. The main prerequisite is only go as far as what you feel comfortable, and always just being loose, agile, flexible, please. And we do the exercises very safely, very smoothly. No rush, no hurry, absolutely no need at all. So what I always talk about is good posture alignment first. Shoulder width apart, you can come out a little bit further if you wish. Shoulder width apart, just imagine a couple of pendulums actually just going directly down. I'm using the tails here as a template, so that's just where my toes are, but just going directly down to the heels. So I put my hands here on the quadriceps so you feel the movement. Simply just relax first, sinking back into posture, and then we come up. So these are very good exercises, particularly for COVID-19, very good for building the chest, very good for building lung energy within the chest. So when we sink down in posture, we exhaust the air as much as possible, and this can be from the diaphragm and also from the internal organs, not just the lungs, but any pockets, any crevices that air can get into throughout the body as well. And when we do come up, we take that full and flowing inhalation in, and we take that full and flowing expiration out. And as a very useful exercise as well, so we start from the diaphragm, we come through the internal organs, we sink back into posture, and then we expand through the chest. And you notice how we just project out. So we're using all the joints within the wrist and also the fingers. We're also using elbows, we're also using shoulders as well. So it's a flowing motion. If I had my other shirt on, which symbolises the yin and yang symbol, it does represent Tai Chi. Tai Chi basically brings the body back into balance. So all these exercises are body balancing exercises, internal exercises. It is to balance the breath, the body, and the mind. So very heart-calming exercises as well. Particularly useful for that busy day ahead, or for that perhaps that meeting that you're a little bit nervous about. So you notice with all the exercises, what we do is ground. We always come back to earth, cement ourselves back to earth, and this is about falls prevention as well. Tai Chi and Qigong exercises are very good for that. Qigong can be broken into two words. Qi, which simply means vital energy, the source, and Gong means work. So some people say they do Tai Chi, some people say they do Qigong exercises. At the Academy we say we do Tai Chi Qigong exercises, which means balanced work. Balanced work exercises. So flowing motion here. When we have flow, we have movement. We have life force throughout the body. When we have stuckness, when we have problems there, we create further problems as well. So coming back into center. Excellent exercise to do. Always recommend this exercise as well. Just imagine the string actually projecting up through the top of the head, and this does open up all the spaces through the disc, open up the back, but also expands through the chest. So we're working off a vertical axis. We're also working off horizontal here as well. So from here we rotate through the hips. Arms are just loose. Always just been loose, agile and flexible, please. Only going as far as what you feel comfortable. Swinging arms. Excellent exercise for warming the body in winter, but cooling the body and so on. I'll just come back a little bit so I don't hit that side. Always recommend this exercise first thing in the morning. So gentle palpation upon the chest and also upon the back. And also coming up into the shoulder, into the back. And this is also a gentle stretch throughout the shoulder, through the elbows. We're gently stretching through all the joints within the wrist and also the fingers. Coming back into centre, just slowing down that exercise as well. In winter you can do that previous exercise a little bit more vigorously if you wish. And as we come into winter, we'll be changing the exercises for you. So warming exercises. Change of season is always a challenge for the body, externally and also internally. With this one, what we're doing is actually transferring weight over to our right hand side, projecting the hands to the left. See how my hands are just lower than the shoulders. So very good load-bearing exercise, weight-bearing exercise as well, because all the muscle stands ligaments actually wrapping around bone, and they do strengthen bone externally and also internally as well. Internally in the bone marrow, what we have is the red blood cells, which actually transport oxygen around the body. So we need that good oxygenation. Also we need the lymphatics. It also stimulates and invigorates the lymphatic system. So we're getting our toxins, impurities, excessive fluid away from organs and also away from tissues. The white blood cells repair the body. They work in conjunction with the lymphatic system. So you notice how if you cut your finger, it's in the process of repair straight away. The wildcat scans the horizon with the intent of looking out for food, looking out for danger. Always just going slowly. And what we talk about is mindful awareness, being mindfully aware about what your body is doing and working with it. Coming back into centre, shoulders. Shoulders just gently and easily just rolling back. And this is a very good way of actually releasing tension, anger, frustration, because those emotions tend to harbour in muscles, tendons, ligaments, but particularly in shoulders. This is where we have our burdens, our responsibilities. And I particularly like this exercise where we just roll up the shoulders like this and we just take them back. See how the arms just go, arms and hands just go along for the journey. So we breathe in as we come up and we sink back into posture. Now you can imagine you pushing down on a substance here or platform, whatever you wish, but also just springing off that and coming back. I always imagine just jumping a fence from one side to the other, just with my shoulders. And love these sort of exercises, so you can just do very small exercises as well. I will continue the segment actually with sitting on a chair and also using a chair as a good stable background, good stable support. So what I'm saying is a lot of the exercises you can do sitting. Coming back. Sinking back into posture, and from the back, we come back. So it's opening. This is the young aspect where we push up with the palms, with the fingers, we extend through the body, and we simply just release. So nothing stiff. It's all just light, gentle movement. When we come back to the center here, just the sides of the body, always recommend this as a change station. We're simply just changing direction, the exercise. So this is the yang aspect, where we extend. This is the yin. This is the relaxation. So we need relaxation and we need action. I often say Tai Chi is relax action as well as relaxation. And rolling over with fingers. I pay particular attention to joints because joints give us movement. As the Arthritis Foundation says, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use your joints, you actually lose the function of them. So may I suggest, If you're not quite sure about the exercise, always just start slowly, carefully. There's no rush, there's no hurry. And that way you have time to think about the exercise and also just to take it to another level as well. Coming back. These exercises are also particularly good for the lungs. See how I contract through the body and then through the exercise itself, expand. This is one of my favourites. The farmer grinds the corn from Shibashi 2, or Shibashir in Mandarin. Sinking back into posture. I'm simply going to use this as a flow exercise as well. So in other words, where we've gone back, we can come forward. We can project out, pushing out with the palms, sinking back into posture. The movement actually starts from the feet. So we project out through the feet, through the legs, through the torso, and from the shoulder, we arrive. We arrive at the palm, and we project out with the fingers. So this particular exercise is the lohan, focuses the chi. Very good breathing exercise. It's a very good posture exercise. It's a good focus exercise as well. Coming up with the palms. Another way of doing this exercise, if you wish, you can also have the lohan hand. In other words, we expose the palm here. All I'm doing is actually just rolling over these knuckles here. So that part there is exposed. But then again, nothing tense. So it's not a tense movement, please. No tension at all. No stress. And push it down. It's a great exercise to do. So if you do have any lung problems, I know a lot of the population in Australia have asthmatic. So very good for asthma, bronchitis, cystic fibrosis, emphysema, and very good as a lung builder against any viruses around. Just do one more for you. So sinking back into posture, maybe that dry hankering cough you just can't seem to get rid of. Pushing down. So whenever we go down, or whenever we go up, I should say, I always say this to my students, whenever we go up, I always suggest it's going down first. Very simple exercise. This one's in the Lotus. Many of my veteran students would remember this one. So we're pushing down as well as pushing up. The emphasis is on the palms to push, and just as an adjunct, you can actually just release that exercise and push. So again, this is just a flow movement from there. So we just release. This is the yin aspect. This is the yang. Where we push, we project. Just do one more. And this is a very good strengthening exercise as well. It's like two ships passing in the night. So now I have my right hand up, left hand down, pushing, releasing, pushing again, and releasing. Do one more. You could also do that exercise from a 45-degree angle, in other words, pushing out from here. Reminds me of, doors out of, spaceship doors out of Star Trek, where you see them going from one side to the other. Something a little bit more interesting than just going up and down. You can also use, and I'm just going to go from my right to my left hand side, rolling motions here. So in other words, the movements can be very small. You see how the hands can come back to here. I always think of my arms actually just resting upon the bench. And as kids, we came up to the kitchen bench and chat, and that's where the hands were. We can also just go the other way. Flowing movements. These are very good, excellent exercise for building the chest. So you can see how my body is coming up and down, expanding out, and contracting out, exhausting the air as well. We have to exhaust the air for that new air to come back in. It's like pouring out your cup to try a new wine, and then you empty the cup to actually fill it. Otherwise you're just topping up. Two different tastes. You're not really getting the taste of the new one. Okay, up. So, hands coming over. Simple exercise to do. So the right hand can come up to here. We can come down. We can think of it like a clock. And the clock actually starts from 12 o'clock up here. We come down to 3 o'clock. See how I turn through the waist. I sink back into posture. I rotate through the waist. We come to 6. It's like I'm pushing something over. Table, chair, whatever. I sink back into posture. So as I lift through the arm, I actually sink back into posture, into the body to support the movement. So we come to 9. See how the hand just rolls over. And we have all the aspects of the rotation aspects through the hand. I love how the body works. Pushing up to 12. We come down to 3 again. We come back to 6. We sink back into posture. We come up to 9. And we come up to 12. So, flowing movement. Whenever I do this flowing exercise, I always think of goldfish with their tails flowing in the water. So they're not so much propel themselves, they actually they make sure that they are stationary in one position so they can eat whatever. Flowing movement. We can turn through the waist. Any flowing movements, any light, gentle exercise, any light, gentle Tai Chi and Qigong exercises, innate flowing movement throughout the body, and that's what we need. Where we have stoppages throughout the body, we have problems. Hands coming up like this. I'll just go slowly for you. A lot of these exercises I'm repeating from previous videos, just to give you a feel as to what we're doing. Even just a very simple exercise like this. Massaging the kidneys. This is particularly good for the bladder meridian, which actually runs on each side of the back. And also the kidneys. This is part of the water element to nourish the body, nurture it inside, to cool it, but also to provide good circulation throughout the body as well. It also tames and harmonizes the fire. If the fire's raging in our head, too heavy, too many things happening up here, what we need to do is disperse the energy down. And here's just another very good exercise, very good breathing exercise as well. So we lift, we come up to the arms, and we sink back into posture. Simple exercises to do. I specialize in very simple exercises, easy to do, easy to remember. Breathing in and breathing out. So we normally breathe in and out through the nose. We can breathe in through the nose and then breathe out through the mouth as well. And this is the cleansing breath. So we make sure we exhaust as much as that air as much as possible. We turn from our right to our left-hand side, rotating through the hips, and then coming back down again. 2 ways you can do this exercise, and I love the variances here. So breathing in, and breathing out. And then we can turn to our right hand side, rotating through the hips again, breathing in, and breathing out. Another way of doing this exercise is to come up and breathing out. And then we turn to our right hand side, we breathe in again, coming up to the eyes and coming back. I'll just do that one more time on the left hand side. So it's lifting through the body. Sinking down in posture and then lifting through the body. Particularly very good for the back, but very good for the chest. We lift. Very good for the abdominal area as well, because all these organs here, when we sit too long, they become suppressed and repressed. What we need to do is open up the abdominal cavity so that all the internal organs, stomach, spleen, etc., can sit in their vital positions and function effectively and efficiently. Okay, very classical exercise. Love this one. Waving arms in the air, the horse riding stance. So we sink back into posture, we project our hands out, coming up to the shoulders. You see how the body just folds back, folding back through the spine, sinking back into posture again. Very good for circulation. Again, stimulating, invigorating the lymphatic system, getting toxins out. Very good for lifting through the body. So this is very good for the spine to open up all the spaces through the discs, projecting up. Very good for the chest, because we expand through the chest, that long and flowing breath all the way out to take that long and flowing breath all the way in. Very good for the quadriceps here as well, because we aid the venous return back to the heart, so it's very good for heart health. Very good for warming the blood, actually in winter, and cooling the blood in summer. Very good for any palpitations, any irregularity, high or low blood pressure with the heart as well. Very good for sensitivity, because this also enables a good sensual feeling actually through the toes. Good circulation means that we get not just blood supply there and not just toxins out, but we also get good communication. Very good communication. This is particularly important with elderly or anyone who has balance or coordination issues. So we get the feeling from the toes when we knock on something, communicates immediately with the brain to correct your posture, to avoid injury and falling. Also stimulates and invigorates the central nervous system, so very good for memory, for brain power, for reasoning. Coming up, coming back to there. I will come back to that exercise as well, but just want to go through a couple more. Okay, coming down to waist, figure eight. This is particularly good for the hips, very good for internal organs. I always say it's a gentle massage for internal organs as well. Very good for the knees, very good for ankles. In fact, very good for the whole foot involved. We have 26 bones in each feet. It's more than, when you put all those bones together, 52, it's more than a quarter of the bones we have in the body. And also winding down like a spring. Very good for digestion, ingestion, assimilation, also for elimination. And that's why I say it's very good for the plumbing, both male and female. So that heavy meal at night, you've had that heavy pasta meal, too much grappa, it's very good for digestion, getting things going so you can sleep, you can digest. Because when you're trying to sleep, heavy meal, it's got all the properties here trying to digest that and getting things going for you. Feet, transferring weight out the right hand side, very simple exercise. I do this one a lot with the elderly. See how I just swivel my foot here, but sinking back into posture. And we can also turn this into a breathing exercise. So we breathe in, coming up to the eyes, and sinking back. Now both knees bent. The reason why we have both knees bent, or both knees bent, rather than just a knee, is because we're not grinding bone against bone. We're also recognizing and appreciating the synovial fluids, in other words, the jelly-like substance between the knees, so we're not wearing that out. I notice a lot of people need knee reconstructions. If it's one leg, it usually is the other. So breathing in and breathing out. We place that left foot down, we transfer weight over the left hand side, making sure we have a safe foundation first, and then we swivel with the other foot. So just slowly, just gently. I always suggest, if you're going to do a job outside, whatever you're doing, always just going slowly, gently, safely. Please do not rush your movements. As you know, when we usually rush our movements, we have an accident. You know that. Breathing in and breathing out. Placing that right foot down, making sure that's secure. We transfer weight over the right hand side. I like to do this exercise here. We just step out. We can come out to different degrees, and what I talk about is a short, a medium, or a long position here. I'll go a long position today, and then, but not too long, so we're not stretching out. There's no problem in doing the exercise. It looks like I'm just rotating off the toes, but it's really the whole foot involved. So we have the whole foot involved, including the ankle, of course, and we have the knee, and also we have the hips. But you can also feel that movement if you put your hands on your abdominals, or if you put your hands on the lumbar region, you can also feel that movement too. So it's in conjunction, in collaboration. We'll go the other way too, please. We always must work with the body. What I always talk about is working, finding out how to work with your body, working with it, so it works with you. Placing that left foot down, transferring weight out the left hand side, we sink back in posture, and I'm going to step out with my right foot. This again is very good for sensitivity, particularly very good for elderly, so that they still retain good sensitivity actually within the feet. And this is about falls prevention, preventing falls from happening, or if the person does fall, lessening the severity. And we come back. Placing that right foot down, transferring weight out the right hand side, particularly like this exercise as well, where we just go from the heel to the toes. And there's a number of exercises we can do here. So I say to all the girls, it looks like tap dancing. And we can come out to there, we can come to the heel. Another way of doing this exercise is tapping with the toes. Very good for sensitivity. And also what we can do is just gently tap with the heel as well. So placing that left foot down, transferring weight over the left hand side, we swivel to there. And again from here. We're just starting up the exercise simply. If you forget what to do, usually just doing an exercise actually reminds you of the next one. It just does. And always say to my students as well, if you're not quite sure about the exercise, break it down. It's like small pieces, and that's like, it's joining the jigsaw. So from here, tapping with the toes there, and also just gently with the heel as well. Back to there. Transferring weight out the right hand side, stepping out. Love this exercise because a lot of people do turn their ankles or their feet or do fall because of this. So when we're in a position here where we're just breathing in, gently and progressively, we push towards the outside. And I'm using my hand here as an example. We come back into center when we breathe in, and then gently and progressively, when we push out, we breathe out as well. So breathing in and breathing out. So this is very good for all the bones, all the joints, all the muscles, tendons, ligaments, actually within the feet. And you notice how big bone here, the tibia, actually flexes. It's got to flex. If it doesn't flex, it breaks. So we're keeping the bones in good order as well. There's all the muscles, tendons, ligaments actually around them. Placing that left foot down, transferring weight over to the left-hand side, that's it. Stepping out, hop, to there, so we breathe in. And we gently and progressively just push out. So always just going gently and progressively. If you do this exercise every day for 30 days, you may surprise yourself, but I would not be surprised if you have better flexibility. This also is a very good load bearing exercise as well. So we're load bearing, the weight is actually going directly down, but also a portion to the back foot as well. So coming to here. Good exercise, if you've just been on your feet for some time, always recommend this. Going to the bank, service station, whatever. We did this exercise very fast. It's a very, very useful aerobic exercise. You might say this is a light aerobic exercise. But when we come down, we actually have a greater load bearing aspect. And also we have a better balance aspect as well, because the upper balance through the middle, balance through the lower as well. So we're just using arms as balance bands. And again, this is a very good squeezing action, actually particularly on the quadriceps, which actually aids the venous return back to the heart. So a foot exercise which is good for the heart? Yes. But when we do place the foot down, squeeze, and then come back up again. We're using all the muscle stands, ligaments within the feet. So love that exercise. Transferring weight out the right hand side, and we step out, just up on the heel, and the left foot to there. We push, we breathe out, we breathe in, and we push towards the back. So this is also an extension through the body as well. It's not just an extension through the spine or projecting up through the top of the head. It's also the projection, the horizontal projection actually across the chest as well. Very good for balance, coordination. In fact, all the Tai Chi exercises, all the Tai Chi and Qigong exercises are. We bring that left foot back in, we transfer the weight out the left hand side, always making sure that's safe first, and we step out with the right foot. Particularly important for me because I've only got half the strength of my left leg, so it's a very good load bearing exercise. In fact, I'm using all those muscles, tendons, ligaments. If I sat around and did nothing, well, some people say, oh, well, nothing happens, but you actually go backwards. Pushing. So I've got to keep those muscles, tendons, ligaments, in good order. I have to stimulate and invigorate them. Otherwise, they become even more dormant. And this is a great exercise to do. Complementary exercise of this one, transferring weight over the right hand side, we step back. Now always have a gate, in other words a good gate that support. The two pendulums actually going from the shoulders down to the heels, down to here. So just on the toes here, when I push down with my heel, my hands come forward. So I'm pushing forward, it's like I'm pushing a table forward. I'm breathing in, so come up. And breathing out. This is an excellent exercise with extension through the legs. And it also projects up through the top of the head as well. So very good for cramps within the feet, within the calf muscle here, the gastrocnemius. Very good for that. I know a lot of people have said it's very good for that. I remember as a kid just waking up halfway through the night, just all my legs are just knotted up. So this would have been an excellent exercise. For a lot of people who do not hydrate properly, in other words, fresh filtered water, they don't hydrate properly through the day, particularly in winter, because most people think they don't have to, but actually we do. The body does need that. This is an exercise to do. Transferring weight out the right hand side, stepping out, my left foot to here, transferring weight out the left hand side, making sure that's safe, and we step back. So again, having that gate, that supportive gate, and you notice how the foot is out to the side as well. So we have that purpose. This is what's often called, what we call a bow stance as well in Tai Chi. So, hands to here, my heels up, hands are forward. To there, that's it. Sometimes they got to mix up. No problem. What I've read is that 85% of people do get back problems. I know I have at one stage. I remember I was sitting in a car for 6 hours, I couldn't get out. I simply just couldn't get out of the driver's seat. So I wish I knew Tai Chi in those days. So this is very good for backs. Sorry, my battery just ran out. So we'll just continue without music. Sorry about this, but sometimes the batteries just do fail on that system, even though it was fully charged before. And coming back into center. Okay, so sinking down to posture. First exercise from Shibashi 1, Shiba Shura E. Here's waving arms in the air in the horse riding stance. Projecting out, lifting through the body, to lift, to project out from the shoulder, out through the arm, through all the joints in the wrist, to the fingers. To me, it's like waving out a towel. You've gone to the beach and you're shaking the towel out, getting out all the sand. I'll just do one more for you. And all the benefits to backs, to chests, to circulation, as we mentioned before. Second exercise, always recommend this one, particularly first thing in the morning as well, to expand the chest, to open, and then to close. When I push my hands down, my body comes up. When my hands comes up, my body comes down. So, to expand the chest, to project out through all the joints in the wrist and also the fingers. Now, you can do a full and flowing breath all the way here. If you find it's a little bit too much, so when we do come up, we breathe in, we can breathe out. We can breathe in again, we can breathe out. We can breathe in, we can breathe out. We can breathe in, and we can breathe out. So just adapting the exercise as to where you want to go. So it can just be small movements like this, flowing movements. I know some of my students cannot take the hands higher than the shoulders, so we even just do there. That's fine. And we can come back again. But the forward stead of the exercise. So we come up, expand through the chest, and we simply just release. Coming back in the center. Third exercise, find this as an excellent exercise to do. I'm just going to break it down into parts here as well. So we come up to center like this, and this is just an exercise in itself. I do this quite a lot. So we sink back into posture. It's a very good meditative pose as well. So what I'm doing is actually just pushing up with the palms, pushing up with all the joints within the fingers as well. So sinking down to go up again, to push. And from here, we transfer the weight over the right hand side and we project to the left. We breathe out. So we come back into center, we breathe in. We transfer weight over the left hand side and we breathe out. I'll turn around for you. Actually, I better not, because I won't be projecting my voice. Transferring weight out the right hand side. Again, very good load bearing, muscle loading exercise actually here on the right leg. Come back into center, we transfer weight out the left hand side. This is painting the rainbow across the sky. So just imagine your hands like two big paintbrushes painting across the sky. I love to do this exercise when there's rainy weather around, slightly drizzling, or just the propensity that it is raining. So it all relates. And coming back into center. Love this particular exercise, and that's why I do recommend this exercise first in the morning. So we sink back into posture, up, hands crossing over. It's like a meeting point here. It's like consolidating into your own body, around the chest. And we come up. If you wish, you can also come up on the toes to project as far as what you wish, for as long as what you wish. And then simply just releasing. Separating the clouds. Whenever we do uplift through the body as well, very good for the feet because we strengthen through the feet, strengthen through the legs. We project up, we strengthen through the torso. We project up through the top of the head, through our spine. We open the chest and we extend out from the shoulders, out to the elbows, to all the joints in the wrist and also the fingers. So it's an excellent exercise to do. Always recommend this. And usually in winter, we're all bunched up in bed, you know, trying to, seeking that warmth and retaining that warmth. So from a closed position, we must go into open. That's a very yin aspect when we're resting. This is the yang. This is the activity. This is the action, the reaction after rest. I'll just do one more for you. Projecting up. And an exercise, very simple exercise to do, is actually on our right hand side. Hands coming out like this, so you can either look at the back hand or the front hand and just projecting up. And we just release. So this is very good for the chest, very good for the abdominals as well. Turn through the waist here. Very good for elbows, very good for all the joints and fingers and also the wrist again. We just release. I'm just going to do this flow exercise first and then I'll do the exercise just to give you a feel for it. So projecting out with the palms and just releasing. Exercise I do quite a lot. Particularly those long drives. If you have that long drive ahead, or you're in a train or a plane, very cramped positions, a bus, these are excellent exercises to do. So we come back. You notice how the arms come down, we just don't just flop, so it is in a controlled manner. So we actually have the control there. We breathe out as we come down, and we breathe in as we're coming up. So, hands coming out like this. You can see with the palm, focuses on the palm here, and sink back into posture, and a push over the elbow. So coming up to the elbow here, we breathe in, and as we start to breathe out, we project, we turn to our left hand side, and we come through again. Lifting. And lowering through the body. Rolling arms in the horse riding stance. One of the best balancing exercises you can do. It does balance the left and the right hand side of the body. The upper, little also the lower areas of the body as well. It also helps to balance the left and the right hand side of the brain as well. Left hand side of the brain is very logical. It sort of says, oh, I haven't done this before. And the right hand side is very creative. Oh, bugger it, let's just do it. Okay, so it's about communication, innating good communication between both sides. It's like if you've had that wonderful dream about a very creative idea, but if you can't remember it or can't put it down, it doesn't work. Okay, I think we've all gone through that. And pushing, projecting, lifting, sinking back into posture to push. Okay. Coming down to there. Okay, just going to do some other exercises here as well. I will come back to that. What other good exercises are there particularly good for building up lung energy? This one here. Projecting. Releasing. Pushing down. It's like you're pushing down on two surfaces. We release to here. See how we just breathe out? And as we come up, we breathe in. One of the best exercises to do, actually from Shibashi One, I should say. Hands can be back like this. We roll over the palms. We sink back into posture. And we project up. Body is supportive of the movement, so please don't lean forward. So it's only the hands which actually project up. And we release. This is called rowing the boat. So as if your hands are like two big oars, and we strike the water. Visualize striking the water. So we have that resistance from the water, we come back, we push, and with balance and with symmetry, we just release the oars. And we come back over again. This is excellent for the back. All the regions of the back, it's a great exercise. Just for relieving back pain, for stress, for anger, frustration, for tension within the back. Very good for the lungs. And could I suggest, if you can't take your arms up so far, hands just coming up to here. Pushing down. So it can always be small movements. So again, we're lifting through the body, expanding through the chest, expanding up through the back, and then releasing again. I have a lot of students who actually love this exercise, particularly the elderly. They come out to here, they come down. So it's like a cardboard box. You're putting things into a cardboard box and you're putting down the lids. And also we can do this exercise just at the back here as well. So it's very much like the movement we did, the second exercise we did with opening the chest. And very much like this exercise where we're just simply just lifting and lowering as well. So excellent exercise to do. Okay. Going to swap over to another exercise which I find is very, very good. Unfortunately, I won't be able to turn around for this. Left hand here on the hips. The right hand just comes out to here. We come around. We turn through the body. My arm actually just goes towards the back and comes down. We turn through the body here. See how the arm is just, it's like it's Velcro to the trunk of the body itself. We sink back into posture just as much as possible if you can. Just bringing that backhand around and we come around again. This is the spiral green dragon, seeks the pearl or chases the incense. First exercise from Lohan 2. We turn. I find this is an excellent exercise for circulation. We're using all the three major group areas, muscle tendon, ligament areas, actually throughout the body. Three major areas of the back, which I find is very important. So it's a very good suppling exercise. It's very good for people who don't have good circulation or good flexibility. And coming around again. And usually first thing in the morning we're stumbling around. This avoids accidents. So take your time to actually do, even if you just do 2 or 3 Tai Chi movements each and every day. So right hand just coming back to here, and we have the left hand which actually projects out. Just going slowly. If you forget the movements, just go slower, and you will remember them. Projecting back. We turn through the body. Easy things to do. This also enhances the flexibility actually from the right to the left hand side. In other words, as an acupuncturist, when I was an acupuncturist in the 1980s, I'd leave strengths as strengths, but I'd build weaknesses into strengths. And that way we had balanced, equal strengths. So most people do disregard their left hand side if their right side predominant. So this is a way of incorporating that. The spiral green dragon seeks the pearl or chases the incense. First exercise from Lohan 2. Just turning. We're actually resting the arm, we're actually resting the body when we turn like that too. And coming around. So second exercise, a movement I did before, very similar. Hands projecting out, so it's like, to me it's like slices of oranges for the kids. So projecting out to there, we come back. As we come back towards the body, we start to breathe in, we start to heighten through the body. Rolling over the hands, we can massage the bladder meridian at the back, which also which also strengthens through the back as well. And with the kidneys, gentle massage from there. We come down, only going down as far as what you feel comfortable. Back of hands to here, and we come back. This is the double dragon, Florix in the cloud. Second exercise from low hunter. Do that one again for you. Sinking back into posture, projecting. Releasing. So we breathe out, we breathe in as we come up towards the body, so we're heightening through the body. This is the yang aspect. When we do come down, this is the yin. Gentle massage. And that's also gentle massage actually upon the colon of the large intestine point through the hand as well. So it's working off more than one meridian. And coming back. We just release. Very good for the necks, very good for shoulders, very good for heads as well. And very good for elbows, very good for all the joints in the wrist and also the fingers. We come back out again. So we come up. Simple one, circulation. And you can also just come up on your feet as well. Coming down and then coming up. That's what I do mean. So, gentle massage. Gentle to there. Rolling shoulders back. This is just a very simple one as well. I like to do this exercise where the arms are just nice and relaxed. So we have a rotational aspect here, here, and also to here. So we rotate out. And we rotate back. When we come back into the center, we're breathing out. When we push towards the sides, we're breathing in. And we come back. Doesn't have any particular name. But there's also extending up through the chest as well. And also another very good balance exercise, which I will go through shortly as well, but I'll just do this as an independent exercise. So with our hand here, focuses on the palm. We'd stand up. Left hand could just be on the hip, so as if the dog is jumping up, so we pat dog down. And we gather the air in the palm. We come up to center line like this. We turn through the waist and we push. Push out to the left hand side. There's a point we can't push any further, so simply just release. The left hand gathers. We come up to center line like this. And we push. Turn waist. Push hands. Or to push the door. Or to push the temple door, or to face the wind, or to push the palm, or to press the wind. Pushing out, projecting, releasing. So it balances the upper, middle, also the lower areas of the body, the left and the right hand side of the body as well, and also helps to balance the left and the right hand side of the brain. Great exercise to do. I always recommend this one as well. Very good for abdominals, because we're turning through the abdominals as well. You notice when I do push out, I sink back into posture, consolidate the body, and I push. Because that projection comes up through the feet, through the foot, through the leg, through the torso, and from the shoulder. I push out to there. And that's on the same on the other side as well. So when I turn, it's like if you had big door to close. If you're up like this, top heavy, no push at all. Or if you have your hands extended out like this, no push. There's no power. But when we push from here, that's where the power is. Because it started from the foot in the first place. And we come back. Okay, I'm going to go through the Lotus. I'm sorry I don't have any music. But next time I will. Shoulder width apart like this. Come over a little bit further. Preparation. Always like to do this exercise first. It's really, I always think of the body in many ways like a heart pump, a lung pump as well, and also a lymphatic pump. But this is very good for circulation. It's very good for the heart, very good for the lungs, very good for the lymphatic system as well, because it is that projection, getting things going. projecting up through the top of the head and then sinking back into posture as well. So, preparation. Waving arms in the air in the horse riding stance. This is the Lotus. Gentle massage through the kidneys. We come down. Turtle treads water. So imagine your arms like the fins of a turtle. So we bring the arms back, we protrude our head through, and holding onto the shoulders, and we squeeze the shoulders as much as possible to exhaust the stale residue within the body. We won't get it all out, but we will get some. Okay. Snow rabbit digs the earth. Sinking back into posture to roll over. Scooping fresh spring water. Pouring upon the land. The lotus flower blooms out of the swamp. Love this movement here because it is about working all the joints within the wrist and also the fingers, and the reins fall down. So we sink back into posture. It's like we're pushing up again with the palms. The crops grow towards the sky. Coming up on the toes is optional, so you can project there as far as what you wish, for as long as what you wish as well. And we come back. So right hand on the right hip, and we gather with our left hand. Coming up to center lines, we breathe in, and we push towards the right hand side. Turn waist, push hands, or to push the door, or to push the temple door, or to face the wind, or to push the palm, or to press the wind. And we release. From the belly button, we lift the sky, coming up to the eyes, rolling over hands to press the earth. Always bending from the waist, bending from the knees. Only going down as far as what you feel comfortable to scoop, to gather. Hands is coming back to the waist as well. Right hand pushes down, left hand pushes up. So we get that diagonal stretch across the chest and also across the back. Very dynamic. The elegant white crane stretches its wings in the morning sun. And this is very good for any lung condition. Last two movements. Snow rabbit digs the earth. And we start the form, we finish the form with waving arms in the air, the horse riding stance, and sinking back into posture. May I suggest putting hands just below the belly button, the dantian, center of energy. A few quiet breaths, please. Standing Zen. Hands releasing. I'm Holmes from Tai Chi Gold Coast, contractor to the Australian Academy of Tai Chi Qigong. Special thanks to both, also Samantha Hughes and her team at Active and Healthy, sponsored by the City of Gold Coast. Look forward to seeing you next, which will be Tuesday, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. All my videos are saved on Facebook, on Holmes, Tai Chi Gold Coast, Tai Chi Gold Coast event page as well. Thank you kindly.